So I needed to find something round. And so you could walk around your house, you could find a bowl, you can find whatever you want. And so while I was in the office here, I found a can. And so all I did was I placed this on my rawhide, I traced it, I cut it out, came out as a circle. And so this is the size that I used. From that, I got my round piece of rawhide like this. And so this is the size of that can. And so what I did was, as soon as I cut this circle out, I folded this in half, and then I folded it the other half. And what I wanted to do was, I wanted to cut out this piece of pie. And so when we talk about Native American math, we're talking about ethnomathematics. Ethnomathematics is how do we incorporate math and science into our way of life. And so understanding fractions, that's all I did with this, is I cut this in half, and then I wanted to cut out a quarter of this piece, and that's what this is. And so this piece goes inside of there. And so once I cut that piece out, that piece of the pie, they say, I punch my holes. And so these larger holes right here were created because I want to put this piece of buckskin. And so I'm going to sew this all up, and you see how it creates this little conical shape like a bowl. And so once again, this becomes my centerpiece, and I will paint this. I'll put dots, I'll put some designs in there, but once again, it's going to be the centerpiece of this bustle. And so once again, this arrangement of feathers here, this turkey tail, I'm going to place these hawk feathers inside the turkey tail. And so once I sew this piece up, you see my lace that comes down, I want them to be nice and even. And then I will feed them through this part of this, and you see how it starts to take place. So next I want to place that lace, and I want to go through these two holes that I created in the center of this backboard. Each side is fed through the holes. And you see how I'm feeding it through. So then I just pull, and this is how we attach our feathers to the backboard. And so this is the purpose of the backboard. This is the purpose of the centerpiece. And so now I'm going to piece these pieces together. And so once again, I want to sew it. I always put my knots in the back. I'm going right through. And what I like to do is I like to skip every other hole. And then when I get to the top, I'll work my way back down. And this is what I call the tail. I like to hold the tail, skip a hole, go back to the other side, skip a hole. And so one side has an even number. The other side has an odd number, because this is how I want to end it. And once you start to make backboards and centerpieces, that'll make much more sense. And you see how I sewed this. And I cross-stitched it. And so now I came out on the bottom just like I started, but on the opposite side. And so now I am just closing this up. And so this is my centerpiece.